All right, this is our next episode of True Wrestling Fans Discussions, continuing Hulk Hogan and the NWO. I'm your host, Mike.
I'm Frank. Let's get part 10 going here.
Yeah, so what last we left off was Starrcade. Piper beat him, but it wasn't for the title. Next night on Nitro, basically they pretend that Hogan never even lost. Typical NWO, they never lost. But I believe it's towards the end of the night that the NWO attacks Piper. And the Giant is obviously part of the NWO, and Hogan orders him to choke slam Roddy Piper, which he refuses. And the reason why he refuses because earlier in the evening he was mentioning how he won World War III, so he's next in line for the title shot. Well, Hogan just kind of blew him off. So he tells Hogan, "I want my title shot." That he wanted his title shot and everything. Remember, he grabs Hogan by the throat, and he's holding him. He's like, "Oh, he's like, I want my title shot." And Hogan's like, all right, brother, that's all right. Oh yeah, you got your title shot, man. All you had to do was ask. And then Hogan like slides out of the ring. He's like, "Get him!" And then, they give I loved it. He gave the Giant a beat, and I believe this is the first time. Yeah, this is the first time he gets tossed out of the NWO.
Yeah. So the NWO sold out.
He got his title shot though. He got his title shot.
Well, he was going to get it anyway, but
he got a beat for it. Well, and got kicked out. But
yeah, for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know which one was more memorable, the first or second, but whatever. So it sold out. Hogan defends the title against the Giant. Mm-hmm. It was fought to a no contest in the main event.
You know what I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know what I don't understand? Sold out is supposed to be non-sanctioned, and yet they had title matches. How is it? How did you have title matches when it's non-sanctioned? Right? Like, was it sold out or was it uncensored? That was not. I might be confusing the two. I apologize if. I just remember one of those pay-per-views was non-sanctioned.
Uncensored is like Extreme Rules. It was uncensored. It's
uncensored. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah.
But sold out was like the NWO pay-per-view because the whole place was decked out. It was a small arena. The pay-per-view kind of sucked if you ask me, because
sold out was garbage.
It was. It was just something to compete with WWE for that month and try to get some ratings. Yeah. But it fought to a no contest when NWO referee Nick Patrick being biased towards Hogan.
Surprise, surprise.
Right. So Hogan fought Giant again on Nitro and loses via disqualification after the Outsiders interfere. And then going forward now from here, Hogan again had feuded with Roddy Piper, facing him at Super Brawl.
And before that was the whole they tried to rebuild Piper to make him a badass again because they made him look like an idiot. Mm-hmm. So they had that whole thing about him training in Alcatraz. I think he was there for a couple of weeks or something. I remember the vignettes. I actually liked it.
The pay-per-view was in San Francisco.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. Maybe looking back, it's a little stupid, but when it was happening.
Yeah,
I like Piper. I always liked Piper. He had the Reality Check T-shirt. He had the Icon T-shirt.
He was the one that started that. And then all of a sudden,
Shawn Michaels ran with the
exactly. Now everybody's doing the Icon thing.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm the Icon. No, I'm the Icon. No. Oh, enough already. Now it's goats. Everybody's a goat. He fought him a Super Brawl. Piper faced him and was betrayed by Macho Man in this instance, hitting him with the brass knuckles. Hogan then pinning Piper.
Yep.
Savage joining the dark side. You knew it was going to happen.
Yep. It was good to see those two back together, man. And I like Macho Man with the black and white. His stuff looked good,
man. Not to mention with him in the end of fighting Paige that year too.
Yep.
It was all good stuff. I really did like Savage in the black and white, and then Elizabeth was all. Now she's happy and stuff.
Getting into this right now, we got to do a Macho Man WCW career. We got to do it because he had some good matches that people just forget about.
Oh yeah, definitely. He fought again. Not only guys that he fought in WWE, but he fought other guys in WCW too. Luger, Sting. He did have a great WCW career.
Definitely.
So even after he left the NWO, when he looked like he was taking too many steroids.
Yeah.
So at Uncensored now, the main event, I like this one because they all had a stipulation in this. It was I call it a triple threat elimination, but they called it a triangle elimination.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
I see it as triple threat, but I guess they couldn't use the wording.
I don't know.
It was between NWO team, which was comprised of Hollywood Hogan, Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, with Dennis Rodman.
In their corner, yeah.
Yeah. Versus Team Piper, which was Piper, Benoit, McMichael, and your favorite, Double J. And then Team WCW, which was Lex Luger, Giant, and Scott Steiner. Only the three of them. I think it was they took Rick out, if I'm not mistaken.
I forget exactly what happens.
But yeah, they just wound up going in with three. Now, Team NWO won, of course. Now, had WCW team won, the NWO would have needed to forfeit all their championships, and they would be barred from wrestling during any WCW event for 36 months.
Jesus.
That's ridiculous. Once they gave that stipulation, they're not keeping Hogan off for 3 years.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen.
Had Piper's team won, Piper would have faced Hogan in a steel cage. And had NWO won, they would have had a title shot of any WCW title at their discretion. Okay, during the NWO celebration after the match, Sting rappelled down to the ring.
Yep. It's Sting. It's Sting.
Always love Shivani. They're beating him down. Wait, there's Sting.
Oh my God, Sting. We gotta go, ladies and gentlemen.
And all of a sudden, Sting would come down and just like roaches, see ya. It was pretty cool, man.
It was.
Yeah, and he'd always come down with the baseball bat. There was that one time he came down. It was the dummy, but you didn't know. It came down so fast that it crashed. And we're like, oh my God, they killed him. I thought that was funny.
I remember that, yeah.
In any event, Sting attacked him with a baseball bat, and then Randy Savage when he tried to intervene. I remember that one because he got a good whack on that one. I don't know if it was an accidental or not, but it looked real to me anyway. After giving all three of them a scorpion death drop, he gestured for Hollywood Hogan to come in as well. Hogan did and was promptly taken out by Sting as well, naturally. Sting's actions solidified his allegiance to WCW instead of the NWO, and he would become their main adversary for quite a few months. Because now this is leading towards something big.
Yeah.
So on the June 9th edition of Nitro, Luger defeated Hogan by submission in a non-title match, naturally. The following week on Nitro in Chicago, Hogan and Rodman had challenged the Giant and Lex.
Yeah, that's a famous night. That's a famous Nitro in Chicago when they come out in the limousine. They're all smoking the cigars. That's one of the greatest entrances. Came out to Voodoo Child. That's probably the best NWO entrance.
Isn't that the one where 5 limousines and 30 guys popped out?
I don't know how many limos were there. I mean, I know that they mentioned that in one of those documentaries. But
the Monday Night War, Paul White, it was being interviewed. He goes, and all of a sudden now you got 30 guys coming out of 5 limos.
I mean, I think he was exaggerating. It wasn't 5 limos, but I understand what he was trying to say. There was so many members, but I just love that entrance. That was a great entrance with Rodzilla.
Oh man, he was cool in the NWO. I got to admit,
he was. He fit right in.
He goes, I don't even need to do this. This is just something I do.
And I think this is the one where he skipped the Chicago Bulls practice when they were playing the Jazz in the finals. He just took off and went to 2 Nitro and then he came back. I think this is the one. Yeah.
I remember that because then they were contemplating suspending him for the game, but then they couldn't because they needed him. Exactly. They could. If anything, you just find the guy in the off season, but when you're in the finals, you can't risk it.
It's crazy.
But I love how Rodman would go, this is just something I do when I'm bored. And I'm like, oh, you wise ass. But it was good stuff. I liked it. Anyway, the NWO had interfered, obviously, spray painting Luger and Giant. What else is new? This is becoming an ongoing weekly thing. Everybody's getting spray painted. Everybody's getting beat down. It's just at one point, people did start in that time in 1997. Not that the NWO was getting old, but it was getting complacent. Like it's the same old. They needed to do something to kind of keep it fresh because now you're over a year into this and it's the same stuff going on and on. But
it wasn't hurting them in the ratings. So
no, they were still destroying Monday Night Raw.
And we were tuning in. So it's only in hindsight that we can look back and kind of say like, oh, they should have at some point pivoted somewhere. But
yeah, it's still at the same point. I'm watching. Okay, the main event is Ahmed versus Farouk. Okay, good. What do we got over here? Oh, Luger and Giant. Let's watch this. I will say honestly, there was only one time I watched a Nitro main event in its entirety without flipping over to Raw, and that was when Hogan fought Goldberg.
Oh yeah.
Because I had to see that.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah.
So at Bash at the Beach in July, Rodman made his wrestling debut, which was awesome, as he teamed with Hogan to take on Luger and the Giant in the tag team match. Luger won the match for his team by forcing Hogan to submit, and earned a title shot at Road Wild.
Yeah.
Set up for August 28th, I believe it was. Luger, however, and I remember this, elected to take his title shot on the August 4th episode of Nitro 5 days prior.
Yeah.
And he won the title.
And that was just to pop a rating, basically.
Yes, it was.
They just wanted to pop a rating, so they threw that.
I think the reason why is if you go back and look at the Monday Night War thing, the documentary, the rating the week before this Raw had actually narrowed the gap a little bit.
Right, it was getting closer, maybe.
So Bischoff pulled an audible for the following week to blow it out, and that's exactly what he did. That's
yeah.
What happened.
You know what the thing about this? This is like the forgotten. People forget that Luger beat him for the title.
Yeah,
on Nitro, right?
And for the longest time, these years, I always thought it was on Thunder that he did it.
Yeah,
but it was on Nitro.
I actually forgot about it years ago, and then I remembered.
I just didn't remember what show it was.
But the thing about this, I mean, it's forgotten, and I kind of felt like they shouldn't have done it because it kind of took away from Sting's victory when Sting because they kind of made it seem like that Hogan had the title the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. He had that from the time he joined the NWO to when he beat the Giant, that he never lost the title.
Yeah.
So, and I remember when Luger wins, it's a big deal. They carry him in the ring, just like they carry
celebrating Sting, yeah, like they did, yeah.
Sting, right? Backstage, they're celebrating. It's like that kind of, in a way, it kind of takes away from Sting's victory. They ain't been washed off. I don't know if you remember. Backstage, they take the WCW title and they wash off the NWO. I mean, it was a cool moment, but at the same time, like that should have been saved for Sting or somebody else.
Exactly, because what wound up happening 5 days later, he loses the title.
He loses the title. Yeah, there you go.
And like I said, I really think that this was a ratings thing. Bischoff pulled an audible because I believe, and I'm not 100% on the numbers, but I believe it was like a 2.9 or 3 point something. It got close.
Yeah.
So he wanted to dominate it again. So he decided to do this where everybody tuned in and he blew them out again. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It did take away from that because what would have been cool is if Hogan had the title the entire time. And Sting was the one guy that dethroned him for it. And it took away. But then again, they took away from themselves on that match anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And everything they did, so it didn't matter. So yeah, Hogan wins the championship. Actually, it was also on the 100th episode of Nitro too. That's
correct. There was and it was a 3-hour Monday Nitro.
Yes, this when they start that?
No, I think it was just for that night.
No, that was already going.
Yeah. No, I think it was for this night. Maybe I don't know if it was going forward, but this was the first 3 hour. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So not only on the 100th episode, yeah. So it was a big night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, like I said, this was done for the ratings. In any event, Luger removed the spray paint, like you said, and all that. Hogan regained the title, like we just said, at Road Wild after Rodman dressed up as Sting, hit Luger with the baseball bat. So now everything you just accomplished 5 days ago, you just took away just like that in that type of fashion, and it wasn't even done clean. I mean, granted, I know the NWO, nothing's going to be done clean, and it's all got to be shady, but once in a while, it would be nice to see if Hogan could beat him legit.
Yeah.
But with Rodman in the picture, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And especially dressing up as Sting, that's a slap in the face to him, building that feud going forward. So again, we can look back now and see, well, why didn't they do it this way? But back then, we're only like, oh, this was awesome.
Yeah.
So now Hogan didn't wrestle at Fall Brawl '97. He faced Piper at Halloween Havoc. This is becoming a redundant thing.
Here we go again.
It is, and this is where guys like Jericho and everything at the time are like, what about us? Like, what about everybody else? It's just the same thing. Just the same thing over and over again. In any event, in the main event, it was held inside a steel cage. Roddy beat Hogan by technical submission, which I thought was funny because isn't it just submission?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess because he passed out, it wasn't like he quit, so it's a technical submission. Yeah.
I think we did. Yeah, we did this one, and we were both questioning technical submission. I'm like, what the hell is that? Savage had interfered by climbing into the cage, and he and Hogan beat down Piper. And I got nervous watching this even again because remember, Savage comes from the very top of the cage and lands And his knees, how his knees
he looked like he
blow out?
blew his knee out. Yeah, when he
oh
jumped
my
there,
god!
yeah.
Now he's a guy with legitimate knee problems. It's been well documented.
Yeah.
And you just jumped 15 feet, and you're
this
in your
was this the one with
1,000.
This is the one with 1,000 stings, right?
Yes.
Like wow.
Yes, this was the one. And you got him. You got this kamikaze jumping down. His career could have ended just like that. Oh my god! Maybe it made me nervous. It really did. So after the match, a fan climbed into the cage and was beat up by Savage and Hogan. That was funny to watch. I always love when these guys think they can go and get.
I didn't know, but you know what? I don't know how much. I've never actually looked into this. I don't know how much of it was actually real fans, or WCW just sending somebody out there to play a fan. Either way,
I mean, it wasn't like that time that a fan jumped and tried to beat up Austin and Triple H beat him within an inch of his life.
Yeah. But
I mean, I mean, who knows what Bischoff could have done back then, really? And nobody's going to tell you. So, in any event, Hogan and Sting had signed their match for Starrcade late in October. We were finally going to get to see it.
That was big at the MGM. It was at the MGM ground, I believe. They had that contract signing.
When
Hogan was mocking him, and Hogan was saying that he was scared or whatever. Then Sting comes out, doesn't say anything. I don't think he says anything, right?
He never told him.
Yeah.
Until he muddled his Spanish at pay-per-view.
Right. Yeah.
But when I remember as a kid watching this when they signed the contract, I'm like, holy shit, here we go. This is going to be awesome and whatnot. And they signed it late October for the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. At World War III now, with the main event, the Battle Royal, which started with 59 out of the 60 wrestlers in the ring. After every wrestler except Scott Hall, Diamond Dallas Page, and the Giant had been eliminated, the WCW champion Hogan revealed himself to be the 60th man. I remember this. And he did this to win the match for himself, so no one would get the title shot. But Scott Hall actually won this.
Scott Hall wins, yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, when I found this out on Nitro, I'm like, wait a minute, is there going to be a change in the NWO? Because is Scott Hall really going to fight him?
Right.
Are they finally pushing Scott Hall? I mean, this was interesting because him winning it. Is he actually going to get the title, or is the NWO going to break up?
Right.
So, in any event, now Hall won the match after Nash, in a Sting disguise. Everybody loves these Sting disguises. Attacked Giant with a baseball bat, eliminating him after Hogan eliminated himself by running from Sting.
Great stuff.
Oh my god, it's awesome, man. You remember the first time when Rodman was with him and he pointed the bat and he's getting all scared. He's pointing at me.
Yeah.
What is it? And Rodman was like, "Dude, bro, you got this."
Yeah. That was good. It's good stuff.
Even Bagwell, that little bastard, is over there going, "Nah, man, you got this. You got it." Meanwhile, Hogan's not even listening to him.
Yeah. It was well done.
He's scared out of his mind. And all he's doing is just pointing the bat at him. It was awesome. I'm telling you, man. The hype up to this was amazing. It's just they didn't know how to execute it. Unfortunately, man. So in any event, after the match, Hogan hit Page twice with a Diamond Cutter, celebrated in the ring with Hall and Nash. Now, to bring in the end of 1997, the culmination, their WrestleMania, you've got Hogan versus Sting. I mean, this is the match of the year we've all been waiting for, and they just pissed all over it. I mean, the match was decent. Hogan got the fair 3 count, technically.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this when we did the pay-per-view.
We'll touch on it. Basically, Sting was supposed to win this match clean initially, and then Bischoff says that Sting didn't come in good shape, and so he's like, "Well, we got to change things around, and we got to have a fast count with who was the referee again?"
Randy Anderson at first, but then it was Nick Patrick.
Nick Patrick.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Nick Patrick was the one picked out of the hat.
We'll do like a fast count, and they had Bret Hart was going to come out and help Sting and say, "No, you're not. He's not going to get screwed over." But what happened is Nick Patrick did a regular 1, 2, 3. So it looks like Hogan actually won the match. Bret Hart still doesn't let them ring the bell. Says it's not going to happen again. He throws Hogan in the ring, right, and then Sting wins with the Scorpion Deathlock. It was just a mess of an ending. It was.
Now, here's a question I have, because somebody had brought this up. They had commented on one of the reviews, and I just want to clarify. Was Bret Hart under a no-compete clause at this point still?
He was.
Okay. Somebody had asked about it.
Yeah. The no-compete clause is the reason why he doesn't wrestle right out of the gate and he doesn't show up the night after.
Yeah, it was like I think a week or two later.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's somewhat irrelevant because you could have just held him out and not even had him there until
you could have brought him back the night after or introduced
whenever
him.
it was to actually have him wrestle. Yeah.
And that, to me, 15 months of preparation, you just flushed down the toilet.
Yeah.
Because you were building this up, and everybody was in on this. This was like tremendous, and you pissed all over it. And like we said, and people have agreed with us in comments, this was, I believe, the first nail in the coffin for WCW going forward. I mean, this was just executed very bad. And something that could have been very good.
Yeah, I mean, Sting still won the title, but just the end of it was just.
Yeah, he's acknowledged as champion. So, in any event, because of the controversial ending at Starrcade, Sting and Hogan faced each other on Nitro, but it goes off the air before the match finishes. That's something else that they're known for going forward.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is just WCW being WCW, man.
Yeah, so that pretty much wraps up 97. Next episode we'll get into 98 in the aftermath of that whole Sting Hogan fiasco.
And then Wolfpack and
so
all that stuff. It's good.
All right. So you guys make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys soon.
Take care.